What's good, everybody? You know what time it is? It is time for Elevated Vibes right here on IntellectualRadio.com. Now, to jump in to join this conversation, you can always hit us up, 708-223-8953. Once again, that is 708-223-8953. Or you can get on the conversation on Facebook Live. All right, folks, now check it out. I know you all had the Halloween thing going on. You know, you either went to go do your own thing or, you was with the kiddies, the grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever. All right. In some way, somehow, you got some candy. You got a little sweets. But the thing is, as it tastes so good, did you ever happen to turn around the little wrapper and read the ingredients? The shock. Now, everybody, I got along with me as usual, the great ones, Mr. Timothy Evans and
Boss man, what's up?
That's
happy,
right.
Happy Wednesday. Happy. I guess we about to start hearing the Christmas music. It's November 1st, so I guess everybody can start pulling out their Christmas trees and start, putting up the little elves.
Yeah,
or whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? But you forgot about Thanksgiving, brother.
No, I didn't. The world forgot about Thanksgiving. I didn't. I'm just saying.
You got to get your beginning turkey.
Nah, the only turkey people concerned about is, the one that come in the Oscar Mayer package. So, it's all about the Christmas shopping. We're going to hear about Christmas shopping, inflation, how money is tight this year.
But you ain't going to hear about the togetherness of family?
Nah, dude, I ain't heard that message since I watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when I was 6 on CBS special news at 7. When it came on at 7 and 7:30.
But they had the other ones where you had the Pilgrims and the Indians.
No, we ain't heard about that since the Spiegel catalog been out.
Okay,
we ain't heard about that since the Toys R Us catalog been out. We ain't heard about that since the Sears catalog been out. You remember the Sears catalog where the clothes and stuff were up front, the hardware was in the middle, and the toys were in the back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without a doubt. This Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I know we're off topic here, but just to indulge for 2 minutes, I don't know if it's because we have gotten older, or it definitely feels that Christmas has become more commercialized. Like, even for young kids, it's more commercialized. It always seemed to be like, about family and getting together. And now we hear about is the economic report. Like, these malls have to have Black Friday to get into the black.
Yeah, the Black Friday is definitely not like it was when we were young.
No.
Well, you also got to look at it. We came of age. We are enduring different responsibilities. But as children, we see the what you see within the media and the colors and the brightness and the fun and all that. But you shouldn't be seeing much else than that.
No, I mean, even as adults, I feel like it has lost its specialty. It seems all about the ducats and the dollars to me now. It's not about family. You don't even get the same Christmas specials. You remember that it used to be, you see all the Christmas specials and all of that stuff, and you just don't get it now. It's just, well, first of all, we don't even get the chance to move into it. Like, literally, today's November 1st. I bet you if I walked into JCPenney or someplace right now, they got Christmas decorations up.
Truth be told, some places already had it in September.
And what's that radio station that plays Christmas music all the time? I want to just go right now and just see if it's on. See if they've started playing Christmas music. And I think that's what's happened. It's like we've forgotten about the season for giving thanks and moved into the economical season, because that's what Thanksgiving was all about, was appreciating your blessings and giving thanks for your blessings. And we just seem to have lost that. And now, we have to jump straight into Christmas because of the economic engine that it is. And we're going to hear this year about, how everybody's money is tight, inflation. Well, no, what we'll be hearing about next is your government shutdown, because that's due November 17th.
And so we'll start hearing about how federal workers can't do Thanksgiving or Black Friday this year because the government is shut down. Mike Johnson, House Speaker Mike Johnson, don't seem to know what he's doing, which is not surprising given that nobody's never heard of him and he's never been in a leadership role before. So, but now you got to take over the second most powerful position in the United States government, all while negotiating a war in Israel, a war in Ukraine, and try to avoid a budget shutdown.
Yes.
Now, you know the Christmas season has gone. When is the last time you all heard of carolers coming into your house, knocking on the door? Or if any.
Man, I remember seeing something like that on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, that's about it. I've seen it on TV.
Yes,
I understand that it was real and it happened
It was a thing.
different places.
You
had carolers?
Yeah, I had carolers in Dalton.
Really?
In Dalton, yes.
Well, down the street in Harvey, I ain't see it. But anyhow.
Oh, they called them robbers. But yeah, I haven't had a caroler. No, never.
Wow.
I think that's special though.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good that you did.
I mean, it's
Without
the
a doubt.
churches. You know, the churches used to get the choir together, and they used to go around house to house and sing.
No, well, we did have the Christmas choir. You know, like when you sing all the Christmas songs, the festival and stuff like that. And my grade school would perform there, and we would go to the church and sing all the Christmas songs. And I remember practicing for the Christmas songs because you had to know them by heart. I never understood why the kids had to know them by heart, but the adults could sing from the books. And it wasn't just the first verse; it'd be like the second and third verse. You gotta remember, and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Hey, churches, you all need to get that together. Start it back up.
Man, just make sure you got your friend Smith and Wesson with
Right.
you. The only Christmas carolers I know is me and Ghetto Boys went trick or treating. I mean, dropping them Fifth Ward beats on them.
That's something.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's just. I don't know. I think there's something lost with that. And I don't think it's just because of our age or we gotten older. I literally just think it's the over commercialization of Christmas.
Of course, everything is coming down to the bottom dollar.
It's about the bottom dollar,
without a doubt. So no, I'm not going to deny that. And so that's why even what we're about to talk about today, we have to understand we got to get past the bottom dollar and see what's going in us. Because if you go just by the bottom dollar, there's so many that'll be gone for no doggone reason. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. So we get into the topic, folks. All right. We're talking about dangerous food ingredients getting to a point of a ban on certain candies or certain sodas. And now New York is going to adopt it, but it's already coming up in the state of California. It's called the Skittles ban. Now, ironically, everybody, real talk, because Skittles changed their formulas, they would not be banned now. But because it was, I guess, a lot of people was trying to say it was an attack on Skittles that this came up, but it was really, honestly, the state of California, they brought the Safety Act because some of these chemicals that's within your candies, within your sodas, promotes cancer. Well, it's definitely linked within cancer in animals. Now, some of these chemicals are potassium bromate, titanium dioxide, red dye number 3. This one I can't even say it that well.
Propylparaben.
Thank you.
Brominated vegetable oil.
Yes, sir. Now, these things can bring cancer within animals. Why are they putting it in our food? And even some of these chemicals are already banned throughout Europe and other countries within the world. Why in the world are we feeding that to everybody else? Talk to me, Tim.
Well, first of all, I wanna ask you all a question. Are we? I know that some of these items, like the red dye 3,
Yes, sir.
they have created cancer in animals. Are we not animals? Are we not a form of animal?
Well, okay. I'm not gonna be the devil's advocate here, but first of all,
Oh, come on. Get the
well,
horns out, get the pitchfork. Let's do
first
it.
of all, none of us here are equipped because we don't know what the studies say. Like, I don't know like how much red dye they were given. Like, we read these studies or we hear about these studies, but we don't know what the study says. You know, like how many rats was it tested on? How much did they consume? Like, if they said red dye 3 and we gave him 500 Skittles over the course of 2 days, well, yeah. I mean, of course I'm taking it to a preposterous boundary.
Mm-hmm.
But in the absence of someone, and that's the problem when we just read stuff in the news, and also contributes to the dumbing down of America, which I have not shied away from. But the news only reports these studies because they're sensationalized, but you have to actually go and read the study. Because sometimes if you read the study and you look and you're like, well, how often is that going to happen? Or how does this happen? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's not like you got to be a scientist to understand it. I mean, there's oftentimes that I read stuff and you're like, well, that seems like a exorbitantly high amount. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there are things that you can have in small doses that has no effect. Perfect example, radiation. Radiation, yeah, it produces cancer in rats, but that's after like 2,000 exposures. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to be careful with these studies. And I haven't read the studies.
But for the most part, something like, and I understand why you did the example of radiation, but radiation was mainly used to kill some of these cancer cells and all that. You know, if we were to a point where we were not putting these type of things in our foods, and I understand many will say it will take away the taste, one, and
well, remember when McDonald's took out the saturated fat?
Yeah,
you know,
it would take away the freshness. And,
you know, McDonald's fries,
yes,
don't taste the same to me as they did when we were kids. I don't think that's just because, you know, our taste buds have changed, but it's because they use a different oil.
Yeah, because more than likely the oil they was using was doing something to us. We wouldn't need the radiation from the.
Well, first of all, I am
some of these things in there.
I am a food. I am all about. You know, I've had the pleasure of traveling to Europe.
Yes.
And you're right. The food tastes different. It. You know, the first time I had processed meat over there, you know, it was off a charcuterie board, and they had salami and stuff. And I was staying at a hotel. And even when you taste it, it just tastes a lot fresher. You know, like I came back when I was over there and I got orange juice. And when I say orange juice, like you order orange juice, they literally have the machine in the restaurant that takes the oranges and makes the orange juice. And as I'm consuming this, I'm like, oh, whatever cancer's in my body is going away. You know, like I'm never consuming Tropicana again. Like, you know,
that's
so
how it makes you want to feel. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, let's be honest. The food industry controls a lot. They're heavy lobbyists. And I know it's a little bit off topic.
No, you're fine because it kind of sets up to it.
When you look at the documentary, I forget what Michael Moore's documentary, but he looked at like different things that people have taken from America, but America no longer does. So like you look at the food that French children get for lunch, and you look at what we get for lunch, and you just like, well, no wonder, you know, like no wonder they're a lot more healthier. No wonder they don't see the same cancer rates. No wonder they don't see the same heart attacks and stuff like that. You know, not only are Americans more sedentary than our European counterparts, but we're also consuming foods that as a whole has less nutritional value. Last time I was over in Europe, there was a grade on food. There was a grade. And so I'm looking at this, and I have bought these like microwavable chicken sandwiches. Absolutely phenomenal. Got them from Aldi, but they tasted phenomenal. But that one only had a D. Like it only had a D. And you're looking at the foods that have A's. And, you know, and it's meant to encourage you to eat in a positive manner that's meant to fuel the body. You know, we're meant to eat to fuel our bodies. Pleasure is a secondary. You know, I love the great C.T. Fletcher. He's like, you're not dieting for taste. You're dieting because of the effect that it gives you. So suck it up and eat it.
Now, I was wondering, like those 4 products or those 4 additives that they took off or planning on taking off the market. They said that will account for 12,000 products. Those 4, just taking those off.
I truly believe that. I mean, because
right. So I mean, even if you take a little bit of those additives in each product that you consume, that adds up over time, over a lifetime. That adds up to a lot of poison.
Yeah.
I mean, but just think, I don't know if either of you have gone to Mexico. But if you get authentic Mexican Coke, the drink, not the
product. You know what? I know what you mean.
Coca-Cola.
Yes.
For a purpose of clarity, if you have Mexican Coca-Cola, it tastes a lot different than the Coke you have here in the United States.
Right.
Why is that? They use real sugar. They use cane sugar. They ain't got no aspartame, equal, and all of that stuff in it. And
it's not overly processed, because you also remember now, even if we use sugar here, some of it is so processed, it's ridiculous.
It's not even just that's the first thing. If we want to go back before all of this red dye, propyl, bromine and all of that stuff, you got to go back to the 70s and 80s when America first started noticing that our obesity rates were on the rise. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was this move to find out, A, to get kids more active, but also B, to figure out where it was coming from in the food. And this is where the sugar industry got over. Right. The sugar industry convinced Congress and all of that stuff and came up with this food pyramid that fat was the enemy.
Yeah.
That is all fat. And that is absolutely bonkers. It's false. And if you try to get stuff without sugar, you can't, like today Absolutely. I was going to buy some, I take my protein workout, my protein shakes. And I have one that's a chocolate flavor. Let's just call it peanut butter, whatever.
Okay.
And I mix it with almond milk, but I like the chocolate almond milk. I want my protein. I want it chocolate, so, and some said, oh, let me look at how many grams of sugar in it. I turn, this thing got 24 grams of sugar. That's 34% of your daily allowance.
Because a lot of times they're adding the sugar from something else as well, which
it's usually sugar or a sugar alcohol,
Fair enough.
But the problem is the sugar. Sugar is what fat don't do that. Like fat creates satiety. If you consume a lot of fat, you're satiated. You're satiated, not say it. Satiated. Sugar was always never meant to be consumed by humans like we consume sugar.
Correct.
Sugar was a treat. The sweetest thing you could get in nature at the time probably pineapples and honey. But you're not meant to consume sugar to the degree that Americans consume sugar. That's why we're so overweight. That's why you're seeing obesity rates rise around the world.
Right. That's why with diabetes and a number of other things, it's skyrocketing.
Well, not only that, but sugar over the long haul is detrimental and probably leads to, physiological changes in the body. The way that brain reacts to getting sugar is the same way that it lights up the same area as someone getting cocaine.
Yes.
It
is.
So
it is. What's the word? It
illuminates the same pleasure centers.
Yes.
And so, the fact is that here in America, again, we have a good game, but the fact is overall our food is unhealthy. We have more alcohol, more McDonald's, less options. We have food deserts. All of these things contribute to the degradation of the health of Americans. For the first time, I think last year or the year before, Americans' age of dying is decreasing. And it's not showing signs of stopping.
Right.
It's still going down,
So I think that in that case, Americans are trading time, right? So you always hear people saying, I I use processed food because it's quicker. I go to the fast food restaurant because it's quicker. I can just get food right away.
It's cheaper now.
I was just about to go with the cheapness as well.
It's cheaper.
I don't know if it's cheaper.
It's cheaper
than going to the grocery store and fixing the meal. I'm not sure.
Well, McDonald's did. I just saw an article yesterday that said McDonald's is saying that it's losing its poorer customers, and so they're talking about like they're going up on the price of the Big Mac and stuff like that. Even though they're making record profits, and even though the wholesale price of beef is going down, McDonald's is raising, but they are targeting a different kind of consumer. But yeah, the McDonald's is getting more expensive.
Well, yeah, because in a way they are seeing that people are waking up to realize that these foods are not riding any type of good for you. Yes, it's quicker. Yes, it's cheaper.
But you're giving up the time that it would take for you to make wholesome food at home, and you're like decreasing your life.
Right, because
of that, right?
we already stuck in this crazy busy life that they're pushing us in. And then yeah, a lot of times we're doing just as you said,
but you also can't, I mean, you have to look at that's not happening in a vacuum. Why is that? And it's because we are working more. We are working more than our parents did, you know? It wasn't unusual, especially now with us being more stretched out with the breakdown of the nuclear family. And by nuclear family, I'm not just talking about the people, I'm talking about the extended, like the grandma and the grandpas, where grandma would make the food for the week on Sunday.
Yes.
That's supposed to last you till Wednesday, you know? But now, people ain't getting off of work till 6. Look at us. We ain't gonna be home till 8:30. Yeah. You going home to cook? Or you gonna stop just like I did and get something to eat? If you don't have someone at home cooking, what you gonna do? It's already 8:30. We all got to be up at 6 in the morning.
Right.
So there are these factors that are going on. And that's why I'm saying we have to look at this. Too often we look at things piecemeal. We got to look at things holistically.
That's true. So when I was researching this, though,
yes, sir,
I started going down the rabbit hole, right, with this. Okay, so when we talk about certain things that are dangerous for humans, right, cause cancer, I was looking. They kind of slid me into like processed meats.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when I was looking up processed meats, they have certain categories of what is dangerous for people, right? And one of the dangers is carcinogens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's the problem with barbecuing.
Right. Barbecue. And they also, in the same category as processed meats, they have plutonium, just as dangerous as processed meats to human beings. Plutonium, radon, gamma radiation. Who wants to turn into the Hulk anytime soon?
Well, I am on my way. Not just
thorium.
Do your thing, man.
And all kind of radioactive materials are at the same level as some of these additives and processed things that we are eating. You know?
Well, first of all, I know we talking about food, but the people in Flint and the people in Mississippi ain't even getting clean water. So I get it, this, and that's why I'm saying is America's jacked up. Like, what I'm saying? Like, there are so many issues, and you just keep saying, like, how are you the most powerful nation? But then you also realize the most powerful empires always collapse, not due to some external force. It's always from the internal forces. True. And so you're looking at all of these pressures that are going on. You like, how is it in the United States that people don't have clean drinking water? What is our water doing to us? Look how we push pop. It kills me going to the store and I see parents with like liters of pop. And if it's 24 cases of pop, I'm like, you might as well just hook up the IV and just pump straight sugar into your lungs. Yes. Like people are like, it's so hard to give up pop. No, it's not. Like. You
tend to believe that because it's been pushed on you so much. It's like you're talking about with that push. I mean, to me, if you're going to push pop, why not America itself pushing alkaline water or any of that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know there's been a debate on that as well, But
as long as it's water, now we can decide. We can argue about the acidity of it.
yes,
But I'm good, and make sure that it's been filtered and not coming from Flint. But other than that,
I mean, even with that, there should be a general thing where everybody's at least give you the choice of stuff, but everybody should be getting the cleanest of water and everything else. I mean, this country makes so much money. I don't see what the problem is in that happening. You know what I'm saying?
Again, we are a casino that don't pay out unless it's for the military or for the corporate business.
Well,
that's why
if it's for the military, it's always coming back for the corporate business anyway.
Because they two go hand in hand, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is what we spend on our military, and I always come back to it. You know who has the biggest Air Force after the United States Air Force?
Talk to me.
United States Navy. So,
yeah,
and that's what we do. And so, and it's, before people jump on or listen, it's like, oh, he hates America and all of that stuff. No, I love America. And because I love it, I have the right to criticize it.
Right, because all you want, just like the rest of us sitting here, we want it to be better.
We could do better.
And you see that as better. I mean, just like you were speaking about within Europe, the couple of times that I went to the Caribbean, there was, I'm not going to really name the island, but at least there, okay, yes, they had American food with their restaurants, let's just say KFC or whatever, but you also had a restaurant or whatever known to that island. You know what I mean? And, they were given that choice. So, yeah, you can go here, you can go here. Even the Americans that come as tourists, you can go either one of the places. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Everybody was going to the island restaurant.
Yeah, the body craves fresh, nutritional foods. Exactly. And when you get access to it or you have it, it's different. And you find that you don't need as much of it. Like, you look at the portions, like when I was over in Europe and you're looking at the portions and you're like, man, they real stingy over here. But the fact is that it's quality food and it fills you up faster.
And then also you realize that you don't need so much of the big portions. You get used to it, yes, but you don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the 48-ounce slushy machine, over there, or, and you also realize too that, like when I was over there, one of the things I noticed is that their refrigerators are a little bit smaller, and that's because they go shopping to the grocery store more than we do, because their food is not meant to last. It's like, oh, you get this on Monday, eat by Wednesday, and they stop at grocery stores all the time, but they also have a lot of local grocery stores selling fresh fruits, cheese, bread.
The thing is, why can't we push that here? And then if we have these fresh things and so forth, they cost you an arm and a leg. Why is it to that level that we got to constantly, hey, you might not be able to pay some bills to pay for your grocery shopping, and that's an issue.
So I know when I visited China, a lot of the food, a lot of the fresh fruit and vegetables, they were grown right in the area where people lived, right? You didn't have to go far. You didn't have to truck it all across the country to get your food, your fresh food. They brought in fresh food and fresh animals. And a lot of times they were even live to get every day. And you're right. They do shop for groceries every day. So I think that's a model that we probably need to adapt.
So you believe we should push it more? That's what I'm thinking, right?
Definitely. We sell it as an accoutrement, organic. We use these words: organic, natural, fresh from wherever.
And the problem is with the organic, just because you put the tag of organic in, you don't have to push it for an extra $6-7.
Well, first of all, there's no unique definition of what does that mean. Does that mean, because here you also got to remember, I think the FDA, or it was in legislation, it passed, or I'm not sure. But now they're saying that they don't have to let you know that it's genetically modified meat, like grown in a lab. Like this thing was never alive. It was just genetically modified. And I'm like, you don't have to let people know this? And first of all, why is there legislation trying to hide something? If you're trying to hide something, that means you don't want me to know something.
Right.
But they're doing this genetically modified meat, and we don't even have to let you know where it came from. So that's one. Two, you're looking at, like I said,
the organic is sown, and I don't mean accoutrement, but it's sown as something fancy. That's how we get you to do the upcharge. You know, if you want organic eggs, well, what does that mean? Like it was chemical free. Like, I mean, everything has chemicals in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us have plastic in our body. There's no way we haven't consumed plastic because it's in our water. It's everything. You know, but we don't have a ubiquitous term to decide what does this mean. Organic, cage-free, roam-free, grown naturally. These are words that are used as sell points, but in the end may not mean what you think they mean, or, you know, whatever.
So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to name some of these foods that have a lot of these chemicals in it. And even some of them, if you are, let's just say, caught in Europe or whatever, you can be under arrest. For real. All right. One, you got Twinkies and Little Debbie.
Not the Twinkie.
Yes,
Yes,
Twinkies was definitely on that
yes,
list.
sir.
Not the Twinkie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Pil-
right.
Pillsbury biscuits.
Wait, hold on. Not the Twinkie. And Debbie Cakes?
Yes.
What's wrong with
Yes.
Twinkies and Debbie Cakes?
Oh, bro, they got
Although the Twinkies don't taste the same either, but you know.
right, but I think they got the RBST and RBH hormones, if I'm correct.
Well, we always said Twinkies never spoil.
Exactly.
Twinkies never spoil.
There's a reason of that. There is a reason, just like you spoke about the fresh food, and where within other countries they're going shopping like every other day.
So there ain't no Twinkies in Europe?
They ain't got that. They
call it sponge cake.
Yeah, it's got to be something else. It ain't Twinkie.
Sponge cake with cream.
Hey, whatever.
Wow.
You know. Now, instant stuffing is another one, and mashed potatoes.
I'll stop eating that stuff. That instant stuffing.
Yeah, that just seems like a crime against nature. Like I had my grandma's dressing. You know, first of all, it's not stuffing. Well, there is a difference. Stuffing it. First of all, I never.
It's
done
always
stuffing.
a big debate.
Yeah, no, there ain't no debate.
Well, I'm just
that's
saying,
no debate.
I'm just saying that. I'm saying that you know,
stovetop stuffing is not dressing. I will box both of y'all if y'all. No, I will pull your card. Are you saying they're the same?
I'm saying that's what the box say.
All I'm saying is that they constantly. I hear
Wait,
people
so
back
you
and forth
serve
with it.
stovetop stuffing at Thanksgiving?
No,
You call it what you want to call it in my book. As long as it's good.
At Thanksgiving? Stovetop stuffing? No. I mean, dude.
You would love it to have it from scratch, but everybody don't do it.
No, I'd rather not do it.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's a crime against nature, dog.
I'm just keeping it honest, bro. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Keeping it honest.
Okay. No Thanksgiving that rich. Come on over. I got that stovetop stuffing. No way. No how. Not today.
Now check it out. Mountain Dew. You can actually, in a few countries, be under arrest for messing with
Mountain Dew glows under black light, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, that seems dangerous. Frosted Flakes definitely seems dangerous.
What's wrong with Frosted Flakes?
I never let my kids eat Frosted Flakes.
What?
Never.
Frosted Flakes with bananas?
You can see the sugar on top of the flake.
That's the whole point.
I didn't want hyper.
I can't lie. I mess with the Frosted Flakes.
I mess with some Frosted Flakes.
I
I
didn't let my kids.
I hated to hear this when I read this, but I do mess with them.
No,
that's like 99% sugar. 99% sugar.
No, because the flake was originally made. The cornflake was originally made to decrease the desire for sexuality in women.
Okay.
That it was meant to be bland. He thought it would make women less promiscuous, and so they just put a little sugar on top. So the base of the Frosted Flake is okay.
I don't even know about that.
See, that whole story, you got to break it down to me. I ain't know nothing about that, bro.
You know, I watch the History Channel every now and then. So yeah, that was meant, to to decrease the proclivities of sexual harassment. Something like that. That was because he was a doctor and he thought this would, help and stuff like that. Man, only other is Captain Crunch Berries on that list?
No, it's not there.
It's got to be on there. No,
I didn't find it.
Anything red, I'm skeptical of now.
Now without a doubt,
right? Because they have to take because they just sell the berries by themselves now.
Oh yeah. And you know what?
It just wasn't on the list. I mean,
things like pizza.
I may have missed it, bro.
Anything
I ain't
red,
gonna lie.
I'm skeptical of.
You know,
ketchup is fine. Ketchup just comes from tomato. I mean, I know they added stuff. I mean, there's a lot of sugar in ketchup, so I try not to do ketchup. But there's a lot of if you look at
when I found that out.
Yeah, it's like for a dollop, it's like 26 grams. Like yeah.
I got a video for you all to watch when it comes to
yeah. So
without a doubt. And then I'm gonna give you a couple other ones real quick. Chlorinated chicken.
Who?
Chlorinated chicken. I didn't even know chicken was chlorinated. See, this is more than I'm learning. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But there's an issue with that. And
I don't even know what chlorinated chicken is. It went for a swim. What?
I heard of that. Chlorine.
Yeah, they put it in chlorine. I'm trying to remember the
kill
reason.
the germs. Yeah,
kill the germs and something else. But yeah, a lot of the chicken is chlorinated. A lot of it.
And they don't allow it in Europe.
High fructose corn syrup.
Well, of course. It should.
I mean, that's in everything.
Yeah, but
we put sugar in
everything.
everything.
Been banned. That high fructose.
Well, again, that's
a long time
part
ago.
of the sugar lobby. If you ever, there's a documentary I think on Amazon it's called Sugar or something like that, or just put in sugar on Amazon Prime and you'll get the documentary, and that's how you learn that the sugar industry pulled the fast one. And talked about fat and found the way to blame fat for everything. But the fact is, you're better off drinking whole milk, because fat creates a feeling of satiety. And the more fat you consume, the better it is. Now, does fat can lead to high cholesterol? Of course. Anything will affect the body. But if I have to choose my druthers between cholesterol and diabetes, you can always bring down cholesterol. But diabetes, once you have it, you're always a diabetic. Now, you may have it under control.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But you're always be a diabetic. And that subjects you to a far more risk. Neuropathy, paralysis, and all the fun things that come with being diabetic, insulin resistant, and all of those things. Diet, along with, good water intake and getting the weight off, you can bring down your cholesterol, and also some people, because of their family history or whatever, just have naturally high cholesterol. But diabetes is one of those most preventable diseases that we have, but it seems to impact especially people of color at far more higher percentage.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is because a lot of everything that we're speaking about is pushed so much within the urban community. I mean, it's pushed ridiculously through the urban community that, how can I say, if it's going to take you 10 miles to go get to something good, if you ain't got a working car, but there's 2 miles to go to the cheap piece of crap, most of the time you might hit the 2 miles. I'm not going to lie to you if you're hungry enough. And that's the problem.
I remember growing up on the south side of Chicago, well, even living on the south side of Chicago. I've lived in Chicago pretty much the majority of my life. And just remembering, like, on those nights where you don't want to cook and trying to find something to eat that don't come with French fries. It's challenging.
Yeah.
It's very challenging.
It is.
There are very few restaurants, like, just even, like, because you remember when we were coming up, you even had soul food restaurants. And, I mean, you can eat healthy at a soul food restaurant. I don't have to get the ham hocks, that's been cooked in butter and stuff like that. But, if you really wanted to, you can always get you a grilled piece of catfish or a grilled chicken and, some yams and, some dressing, not stuffing, dressing.
Right. No, go ahead.
So, yeah. And so, in Black and brown communities, again, we're talking about food deserts and the lack of access.
And that's what I'm speaking
to
about.
Healthy food.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can I say, and like you said, the South Side, I've grown up in Harvey world for the longest. Your closest thing to get some food may be the liquor store that's down the street.
No, the pizza restaurant right there off 100 and
oh, yeah, I know what you're speaking about. Yeah.
Arnie's Pizza. You got Arnie's Pizza right across the street.
Yeah, I already know what you're talking about. Anyhow, but if you're if you're stuck and that's all you get, but you know the food that may be some type of good to you, let's say the Whole Foods or something more natural level, you might have to go all the way to Orland Park, which if you don't have a vehicle, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even if you do have a vehicle, the level of gas prices, what they are nowadays, they're still an issue. I mean, let's keep it very honest.
I mean, you know, kind of just bringing this all home. Yeah, now that you know better, we have to do better. You know, don't be afraid to read the labels. The main thing is, and you say, how do I know if this is good or not for me? If you can't pronounce what's in it, it's an issue. It's an issue. You know, one of the things I tend to look at is the sugar content. One of the other things I need to start looking at is the sodium content, you know, because they put a lot of salt in food and stuff.
Yes.
And so that requires for more consumption of water. You know, they try to push that salt and stuff through you, staying like that. But, you know, when you have the opportunity, you know, cook. You know, try to get as many fresh meals a day as you can. Stay away from the processed meats. You know, I try to go to the deli, you know, to get fresh meats, but they just don't last. That's the other issue. You know, when you don't, if it's fresh, it's not gonna last. You know, you get Oscar Mayer bologna, you probably good till January 1st. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, but if you got fresh, you know, well, first there ain't no such thing as fresh bologna, but
exactly,
you know, but if you got, you know, fresh meats, you know, the ham and stuff like that, let's say you know, go buy you a ham and you cook it. Yeah, it's not gonna last, you know. You know, what we're all trying to do is just buy time. At the end of the day, all we're talking about is buying time. You know, it could make the difference between 78, 81, or 100 and, you know, 1. But the idea is that what we're trying to do is buy time. We have the medical resources to live longer, but we're doing a lot of things to shorten that lifespan. And one of the first things we're doing is the food we consume.
Yes.
It's meant to nurture you, your insides. You know, at the end of the day, I'm if anybody gets a chance, I recommend it on Netflix, that new documentary with Morgan Freeman about the evolution of life on the planet.
And I heard about it. I haven't seen it yet. I know the exact one you're talking about.
Episode 2. Well, first of all, it's Morgan Freeman. He ain't done a bad show yet. Right. But, you know, you're listening to it and you're looking at the evolution of like how this planet evolved, and you recognize like, wow, the human body is really a unique, complex machine. And for any machine to run right, you got to fuel it properly. I know personally from my own experiences, depending on what I eat the night before will dictate how well my workout goes the next day. You know, if I ate crap the night before, it's going to be a crappy workout, you know, but I got to push that stuff through, you know, so I can get stuff in. So, you know, fuel your body properly. Look at what you're eating as much as you can. Try to cook for yourself. That way, you know what's going in. I'm not a cooker, you know, my wife is, but I'm not a cooker. But there are alternatives. Even if you're not a cooker, you can order like the fresh meals, you know, Freshie is one of those things, Factor, you know, just, we're talking about elevated vibes. We're talking about not only mental health, but we're talking about physical health as we did last week. Yeah. And the whole reason, you know, we want to talk about this was just because, you know, if you know better, you can do better. Don't buy pop. Do not buy pop. Do not buy Mountain Dew. You know.
Yeah, remember, you can get arrested for it as an issue. Go ahead, Tim.
Do y'all think this is a feasible idea?
Talk to us.
Now, you know how, I don't know if you ever heard of this. They're saying that every neighborhood should have like a doctor, a hospital. Every neighborhood should have a dentist in it. Every neighborhood should have decent grocery stores. It should be like a little city in every neighborhood, right?
I agree.
Is it feasible to have like maybe a little farm with fresh animals, you know, live animals, and you know, not like one in the city of Chicago, but I mean, we got a lot of empty lots and things like that.
They're housing the migrants right now. They're bringing in the buses and stuff for the migrants and the
Not,
tents.
not in the empty. Oh, in the empty lots.
Yeah,
I
I don't know,
didn't know
115 hosted.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, is it feasible? Yeah, because you're right.
No.
You don't think it's
they don't
feasible
want
do
to do it.
No,
Why? Because they don't want to do it, bro.
we don't have the will, dude.
That goes to the one.
Again, we are in the most powerful nation in the world, and we still don't have universal health care. You think they want to give you a free chicken?
Not free, but fresh.
But
I just want a fresh chicken.
No. Y'all got a lot. Again, we back to our normal road. We are all optimistic, and I'm the pessimist.
We are the many, while they are the few.
And the few control a lot.
And that's the problem. We allow them to control it. Because again, now you can even look at that and understand what you're saying. All right. In more of a rural area, if they're a little, they can push for more of a healthy and fresh thing. I've seen it to the spot where, I would go to Minnesota, now they're becoming more urban. So kind of some of it's pushed out, but
there are places in Europe where people can go where they keep refrigerators and stuff on the corner that are stocked with fresh fruit and vegetables.
And we can do the same thing.
Yeah, we could, but we ain't.
And that's the problem. We ain't pushing hard enough.
Well, it's the fact is in America, we think everybody's trying to get over. And that's the problem. So we don't want people to get anything or get over. And that's why we don't have universal health care. That's why we don't have standard income, like just helping a basic income that you give to people. And we know these things work. We know giving kids food and good fresh food helps with the educational process. We don't do that. There's no problem if we can set up migrant tents and buses and stuff like that. There's no reason we can't have a community closet where people can come and get fruit and fresh vegetables. We don't do that. Matter of fact, we pay farmers not to grow stuff because they keep prices artificially high.
But do you not agree that we as a people can push for these things? Because just as you spoke about that that stipend, believe it or not, before he was overthrown,
universal basic income. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. Before he was overthrown and killed, Gaddafi did that for Libya. He did that for Libya.
Look where he at now.
Yeah. So see, that's the problem.
Why
are we not pushing this? We should be pushing things such as that. And then, like I told you, the island that I was in the Caribbean, they at least pushed and had a choice of a restaurant that gave you good food and Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I'm saying?
And we use the term chicken in quotes. No, just playing.
Well, so enough said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, so I mean, just to kind of wrap things up because we're coming to the top of the hour.
Okay.
I just want to say, look, as someone who I don't want to say I'm health conscious, I'm health aware. I mean, I'm not one of those like straight vegan, gotta eat green smoothie shake kind of guys. But do the best you can. If you got to choose between a McFlurry and ice cold water, choose the ice cold water. If you got to choose between, the chicken in the freezer or the rotisserie chicken that's at the front, get the rotisserie chicken. It's the small individual choices that we can make. I ain't telling you go out and wage war and get the organic eggs, the organic brown eggs that cost $9 a carton for $6. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just do better, make small, better choices incrementally, and hopefully you have navigated and negotiated to a better long life.
Talk to us, Tim.
I just want to say that when you don't do your diligence in going to get food and don't realize what you're eating, you're trading your time now for future time, right? So if you eat fresh vegetables as much as possible, you get to live longer. And
allegedly.
Well, we hope, but I want to get people out of the mindset of trading the time that they would use to cook fresh food from the time that it would take from you if you eat processed food. You know.
I just want to say one of our viewers says, as long as the fresh chicken, rotisserie chicken is from Costco, or is it from Costco, or isn't from Costco? I don't know. I kind of like do I like the Costco chicken or do I like Sam's Club? Yeah, I don't know.
That rotisserie chicken pretty good.
Which one? At Costco?
It's pretty good.
I think I prefer this. I think I do like the Costco.
So which one's more
Sam's Club.
suspect to you?
It's not. No, I think one of them do a better job of seasoning. I think one of them does a better job, and I think it's Costco. The Sam's one has my favorite is Jewel's grilled chicken on Chicken Mondays.
Yes, sir.
That grilled chicken, the 8-piece grilled chicken for $7.99 with the Hawaiian bread. Not that I do eat the Hawaiian bread, but it's so good.
All right. Okay.
But yeah. So, but in closing, I just want to say, keep your heads up. If there are challenges coming your way, they haven't come to defy you. They've come to define you. Look at challenges as opportunities to grow and to be a better person, be better than who you were the day before. And as long as you're making incremental process, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Now, people, I'm going to say like this. We have the ability to wake up, get up, and push. We have the ability to push those folks that we put in office to bring us something better. And so what we have to do a lot of times, even though, and I understand something you may find that's cheaper and is quicker and all that, not only should you let go of all that.
Stop stuffing.
Well, yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that, bro. But, we got to push our elected officials to allow the change to come up, all right? And not be afraid of, certain things, just like California's getting rid of these things within these candies. Yes, it's not going to come up to, if I'm correct, 26, 27?
27.
Yeah.
27, yeah.
But at least they're doing it, and New York is taking it on. So we have to push for these other states to do the same thing. And yes, everybody will make money, will be all right. But as you both said, we're going to be better. All right. All right, y'all. We can always keep this conversation going. You can always hit us up on Facebook, and you can hit us up through an email, the triple-threat-radio@gmail.com. This is Elevated Vibes. We'll catch y'all next week.
All right.
Peace.